But my sense is big, right? You've got, compared to other schools, your teams are generally larger. And so, at times, particularly for some of our athletes, maybe they're more the younger athletes, or maybe they're a little bit more on the introverted versus the extroverted side. A way to help their relatedness can be also create these smaller groups. It's going to, for those athletes, it's going to make it a little bit easier for them to really connect and come together. So whether it's a mentoring program or breaking them up into groups in areas where they have the greatest interest, really can impact their relatedness. What about, yes?
I think working and talking about the culture helps my motivation, like being here today, I'll leave here more motivated after connecting with other cultures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great example. Yeah. Again, the first reason that came up as far as why coaching passion for the school. And so putting yourself around other people that share that passion, that you have that connectivity between each other, is a really valuable tool. And as we'll talk about later, at times it can feel like we're a little isolated in our roles as coaches. And days like today can be so great example. What about on the competence side? How can you influence your assessment of your competence?
Being organized and prepared.
All right. So by being organized, by being prepared, we're demonstrating to ourselves that we got our stuff together. Right? Great. Yeah.
Taking something you learned from like one of the classes today, for example, and using it as a practice regularly.
Yeah. So, a day like today where you're investing in yourself, for learning, for growth, and demonstrating that you're continually building your skills. As coaches, again, probably because we can feel isolated a little bit as coaches, there can be that risk where we just we stop learning, we stop growing, and we keep doing the same thing year after year, and then maybe we don't get that same sense of how our skill set is growing as a coach. Yeah?
Celebrating the small victories. I think sometimes our sport can be a long season, and like it's like one section state, and especially for smaller programs, it's like having those small victories along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any ways that people capture those small victories? Did they do themselves or their coaching staff?
Create personal goals or team goals,
Okay.
but not for like an award, but more for like a skill or maybe even like an example. I mean, as simple as making new friends, like meeting someone new. You know, just goals that getting yourself motivated on. Not necessarily winning a competition, something you don't really have a whole lot of control.
Exactly.
But making goals about things that you can control.
And then applying that to ourselves as coaches. So it may be a specific athlete that has achieved a goal that's important to her. It's very tempting as a coach to just keep moving on to the next thing, but not celebrating those things along the way. Okay. So this model around intrinsic motivation, I suggest to you, is a valuable one for you to keep in mind as a coach. One, because you can greatly influence the intrinsic motivation of your athletes, but you also can use it almost as a mirror and think about what are the things that I'm doing to maintain, to nurture, to build my own motivation within my sport. Particularly at a high school level and even at a collegiate level in many sports, some of the external rewards may not be vast. And so it's even more important to connecting to those intrinsic reasons for why we do what we do. Okay. Next strategy we're going to explore is around the pillars of balance. And this is sometimes what we think about in terms of how we can get everything working in harmony, but I want to approach it in a little different way. So I've laid out here 10 aspects of someone's life. They may not be the perfect 10 for each person in this room, but there are 10 things that may cover a lot of the aspects of who we are as people. different identities that we have. So the first thing I'd like you to do, there's several steps to this activity, so we're going to walk through them together. So the first thing I want you to do is simply, at the top of each of those pillars, rank them from 1 to 10, where 1 is the most important, 10 is the least important. And using the tool from the last activity, I'll give you a little bit of autonomy. If there's something listed on those 10 that just doesn't, so you would like to replace it with something that is really important in your life, feel free to modify any of those pillars as you see fit. And then rank them 1 through 10. 1 most important, 10 the least important. I'll give you about another 30 seconds to finish that. All right, step 2. I want you to think across each of those 10 pillars and just lightly shade each bar in based on the current, and to be clear, this is something just for you. I'm not going to be asking people to share their specifics on this. But to shade in their assessment, maybe think of the last 30 days as an appropriate window, with their current level of fulfillment in each of these 10 categories. Zero being no fulfillment at all within the category, 10 being completely fulfilled.
Yeah, right now we're negative.
Give you about 45, 60 seconds to finish that up. Yeah. Just asking you with more your initial reaction as far as how you see yourself, your level of fulfillment currently in each of those 10 areas. The last step is this. I want you to draw a line. I'd like you to draw a line in each category that represents just the ideal level that you would like to be in terms of fulfillment in each category. There's some of them that may, it may be important to you, but it doesn't need to be a 10 in your life. For example, in the example that I've got up here on the board, for the financial one, this person just randomly, put financial fairly low, and that's where they're at. But so identify for each one, just draw a line. Where would your ideal level of fulfillment be for each of those categories? Recognizing realistically can't be a 10 for everything the entire time. All right, let's bring it back together. So the purpose of this activity is, this is something we can go back to regularly, right? And what we're looking to do here is just deepen our self-awareness, right? As opposed, we're trying to get away from that feeling of, my life is chaotic, I'm not doing a good job in any area, I've got to get my act together, and instead be more precise, improve our self-awareness on what are the things that are most important to me, or what level do I need to get them done in terms of a fulfillment, and identify where are the biggest gaps where I need to spend a little more attention. So, in this case, it may be for this person, learning and growth, ideally they would be up here about a 7, and they're a ways off. So maybe that would be an area that they would want to come to a coaching continuing education in order to give themselves a little bit more fulfillment in that category. This is something that will constantly change through your coaching life and through life in general. Again, the way we think of it, instead of finding this perfect balance, is recognizing these different elements are going up and down at different points in our life. It's not only based on our coaching experiences, but our professional careers, our family life, and others. So it's a tool that can be used to just constantly monitoring ourselves, improve our self-awareness, so we can invest our limited time and energy most effectively. All right. The third strategy is around a phrase that many of you may have heard before, which is just simply, what's your why for coaching? The reality is, our why is around often passion, purpose. We think of the things that you put on the wall right away. But at times it's the frustrations, the setbacks that can promote burnout or reduce commitment. And if we're really crystal clear on what our why is, we're able to do a better job of just making sure that we're spending some of our time in those things that we love to do, and we're not stuck doing, for example, if the administrative aspect of coaching isn't your joy, doesn't mean you can give them up, but maybe you can organize the way you do that a little differently to make sure you spend enough of your time closer to your real passion and purpose, maybe teaching a new skill to an early level athlete. So if you flip the page, if you haven't already, you'll see there's room to write 5 reasons why you coach. And I'd encourage you, be as specific as you can. Right? So don't just put, I enjoy it. Right? Be really specific on what your reasons why are. And once you've done that, rank them from 1 to 5. whoever else makes the most sense. Just share with each other your reasons why. So, something I will propose to you is that many of us, particularly in those seasons where things aren't going the right way for us at times, whether it's from a result standpoint or the chemistry on the team or whatever, at times, in those situations, at times we may lose sight of what are real reasons why it is. And I know I found myself leaving a game at times frustrated with an outcome or a decision or a judge's view. And maybe quickly, or maybe it took a day or two, I'd remind myself, okay, remember the reason why you're really doing this. Am I really going to be thinking about that bad call or that bad decision or that mistake a couple of years from now? Or am I going to think about, the young people that make up the team and that we have the privilege to work with? It sounds easy, but we often lose track of our reason why. And so getting it down on paper, maybe having, if you're part of a coaching team or coaching staff, sharing that with each other or reminding each other at times during the season when we have those little dips. Just to keep it centered. Again, it goes back to maintaining our motivation, maintaining our commitment to coach. All right, so as coaches, we often find ourselves on an island. Not purposefully, but because of some of the challenges we talked about, particularly time. How many, other than days like today, how often do you get together with other dance team coaches outside of your school? How often do you get together with, for example, a track team coach or a volleyball coach, or for heaven's sake, even the football coach, and share examples of things that you use from a coaching strategy standpoint to be more successful and to enjoy your craft more? Because you have things to share with them, and they likely have some things to share with you. And it goes back to that relatedness piece that we talked about earlier. So we often find ourselves isolated as coaches because of the demands on our job. And so clearly articulating our support system is important. So here's what I want you to do. This won't take long, but quickly write down in that next table who makes up your support system. Could be other dance team coaches, other coaches, educators, developers of young people, family and friends. So identify who are they, and then also consider at what time or for what reason would you reach out to them. Because different can play different roles in terms of the support that they offer you. One may be for technical expertise, another may be just great at empathizing with a tough week from a competition standpoint, or challenges dealing with administration, whatever that may be, or parents. Again, try to be specific. If it's friends, which friends, for what reason? All right, who's willing to share someone that's important in their support system, or for what reason? Yes.
My husband,
Okay.
and I need professional protocol.
Okay. Can you interpret, what do you mean by professional protocol?
Well, I find that with males,
Yeah.
they tend to not get emotional about their opinions and advice.
Okay.
So that's when I need him the most.
Okay.
Because if I go to him and say, oh, I can't believe, what this team member did, and they go, well, then why don't you just quit? I don't want that answer.
Okay.
So I turn to him for more professional advice.
Okay. Then,
I go to my 2.5-year-old daughter. Like on a bad day, I go over and hug and that laughter. Just so
and right there in those two examples is a great reflection of different people, different support systems that we go to for different things, that fill us up in different ways based on what we need. And again, it's really easy as coaches. We want to solve the problem ourselves too much at times, as opposed to reaching out to others, whether it's just about a share or whether it's a specific technical aspect or coaching aspect. Great. All right. This is the last strategy is around recovery. So this is something, clearly when we're working with student athletes, that we find to be really important. But I think as coaches we may need guidance here even more. Some of the classics around sleep, around good nutrition, around keeping ourselves physically vital. The guidance that we're often giving to our athletes all the time, at times maybe we're not quite so good at living ourselves because of the other demands that we have in our life. I think there are some newer aspects to this too in modern life. I heard the phrase the other day, continual partial attention, that many of us, our athletes and ourselves that we're living in, based off of technology. And so we think we're tuning in, but at the same time we believe we're multitasking by checking our social media or other things. And so we're permanently in this partial attention, and that doesn't help our recovery, as opposed to being fully present in an activity. For example, go back to that support system piece. If my wife was a part of my support system, I'm going to her for support, but I'm checking my text at the same time because players are asking me what uniform should we be wearing today. I'm not getting the support that I could get. So I think there are some unique demands as it relates to recovery for us and our athletes today. So again, I'd like you to just capture, for you, what are some key recovery elements, and then what are the obstacles to accessing this stuff? your recovery may look very different than the person next to you. So again, one you need to just self-reflect and identify those recovery needs. We've got an example to share in terms of something that really helped them from a recovery standpoint.
Wine.
Any obstacles to that?
You can't have it at school.
If I had a prize, I would give one to you. Great example, I guess I should say, from a professional standpoint, in moderation, of course. Right, what? Any other great recovery strategies that really work for you? Meal planning? So just describe that to us. What do you mean by that?
I do a lot of cooking on Sundays.
Okay.
Compare.
Got it.
I will not want to do that all week.
Yeah, exactly. So you know that a stress point is continuing to do it every day, every meal during the week. So if you get it done ahead of time, you create some space for yourself. Awesome. One other comment.
Time away from dance and parents and kids.
Yeah.
With your wine.
Yes. So time away, and that's an example where some of us may recover most effectively by stepping away, having that mini break. I understand many of you are working with your athletes through the fall and through the winter, so your season is longer than some other coaches. So some of us really need to just step away, even if it's briefly. For others, it could be shadowing another dance team coach at the collegiate level, or doing a lot of it, so again, different things, and maybe both. Yeah.
Me time.
Yeah, so me time.
Me down.
Again. And the last thing I'll say on this is our athletes watch us closer than we believe. And so if we're able to model the right behaviors, healthy behaviors, they're more likely to follow along with it. I know something I struggle with today's technology is I want to be really responsive to my players, and so I have a tendency that I have to I always want to respond right away to, what time's practice again and things like that. And at times I do a better job of just turning my phone off or saying, okay, I'll respond in a couple of hours, but let's see if one of their teammates can time it. Because otherwise, the more I do it, the more they're going to expect me to respond to them immediately. And I've just created this vicious stimulus response feedback loop that I'm hanging myself with. So, okay. We've talked about a number of different strategies. Some may have really spoken to you, others maybe may not really reach out to you in a way that it impacts your balance. What I want you to do though is, can you identify up to 3 actions that you want to commit to in order to not find perfect balance, but to just improve your balance as it relates to coaching and the other aspects of your life? Could be based on the things we've discussed today. Could even be a different strategy or action that you're aware of. So, let's see if we can commit to up to 3 actions. There you go, right. So, tying back to that support system, as well as those pillars of a balanced life, making sure that we create the space, because otherwise, it just doesn't happen, right? Because there's always something maybe more urgent but not important that we want to do. Great example. Who's got another action that they identified that they committed to this morning? Yeah.
Well, similar to talking to my husband about the plan, like I know that I have a babysitting schedule set up, I have all of this stuff, but I haven't really like shared it with him.
Yeah.
And so I just think that causes a lot of stress because I end up relying on him more than I think I do. And I think that really stresses him out. So kind of having like a pre-meeting plan with my husband about how to survive the season, I think would be beneficial.
Great. And so there's great awareness there in terms of kind of triggers or stresses that exist, and a very specific strategy in order to reduce that situation, reduce that stress, recognize the planning that you're already doing in order to balance some of the different important things in your life. Okay, who's got one other action? Yes.
I'm trying to make this promise to myself this dance season that I will not go back to work email or work things after dance practice is done. Okay. That's the end of my day.
Yeah.
And I need to just, because everybody knows the work day gets cut short because of dance team.
Yep.
But you still put in your 8 hours, so you just gotta, that's what I'm trying to do this year.
That's a great example. I saw a lot of heads nodding as you were sharing that. And the challenge is it's so easy to, with technology, to be working 24/7, and we're not our best when we do that. Okay. So, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your energy. I hope that you can take away of the various strategies that we shared and discussed together, at least even if it's one thing that you can use to influence your coaching decisions and the decisions that you make in your life that can lead you to greater balance. If we're taking a little bit of time for questions. We've already got a couple of minutes if you do have any questions. Otherwise, I've been standing in your way for a refreshing your coffee. If you have any questions that are raised, I'll stick around for a little bit before your session starts up again. Thanks again. Appreciate it.